Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I think it's time for your daily dose of dismal Doctor Who.
Oh, there you go.
The way things have been going. We're going to talk about the Doctor Who ratings and some people pointing out on Twitter that it looks like the ratings are being massaged a little bit. The numbers are being massaged.
Well, you massage it, they get bigger, you know.
Yeah, they get bigger on the inside. We're going to talk about this, and we've also got some other articles kind of supporting the video yesterday that the media is turning on Doctor Who. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, guys. You get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to shopclownfish.com. I really need to change this date, but I haven't done it as of the recording these videos today.
We've been really busy.
Really busy. But yeah, so we've reopened the second chance offer. If you missed out on Crimson Wren, if you missed out on previously on Clownfish TV, we still have some copies. We're pretty much done with. We have some books we have to get out yet, but a lot of the fulfillment is done. So if you want a copy, go out to shopclownfish.com. You've got about a month, or until we run out. You can grab another copy of those books.
Whichever happens first.
Whichever happens first. So let's talk about this. This is coming from The Problem. The Problem being on Twitter. The BBC has been withholding its consolidated ratings, which should have been out on Sunday, but they waited until Wednesday to officially release figures for Doctor Who. What they're not telling you is that they're adding those extra 4 days to the 7-day numbers.
This sounds to me like Disney with Wish.
Yeah.
They actually released it on the 18th of November instead of the 22nd, which was the official release date. And then they never gave you a separate number with those days. They just seemingly rolled those in. So when they keep saying 5-day total, I think it might actually have possibly included those other 4 days. So it was closer to like a 9-day total.
Yeah, they keep it like, oh my God. And the 32-day weekend, opening weekend, this movie did, because whatever looks the best, right? Because they don't want to admit that the ratings for these specials have been declining week after week after week, right? Mm-hmm. Now they're saying consolidated +7. Now what they're doing is they're taking the broadcast numbers and then supposedly the numbers of people that DVR'd it or people that are watching it on the iPlayer or whatever, but it is going down. The trend is down, and the numbers aren't fantastic because, especially for David Tennant, and I think once Tennant's out of the picture, if he's out of the picture, we've got 2 doctors running around now, so who knows? But once he's out of the picture, I think things are going to drop off a cliff, personally. But this person here, again, just going by what they're saying, they said that Monday was 6.9 million, Wednesdays was 7.14 million people. So it does look like they're massaging the numbers. And we got some comments here. Well, here, they lay it out. Monday, 6.9 million. So how many people viewed the Wild Blue Yonder? And then, they changed it to 7.14. 7-day consolidated ratings for Doctor Who Wild Blue Yonder were due out on Sunday, the 10th of December. On Monday, Doctor Who Guide published the consolidated numbers of 6.9 million. However, it wasn't until Wednesday the 13th that the BBC officially released the number as 7.14 million, adding another 240,000 views to get it to limp over.
What do they do? Get a bunch of people to watch it again to try to.
Well, okay, so I think they roll in the BBC, the iPlayer numbers, so they could be. They could be.
Again, you don't know too. Like, what are the count as a view? Is it like I watched for 10 seconds and turned it off, or or I watched the entire episode?
Yeah.
I think they're counting whatever.
Well, it's like Disney Plus. Like, you don't know what actually counts as a view. Like, it just happened to, because a lot of their movies and stuff, they'll their new shows, they'll autoplay. Like, if you're watching something you want to watch, and then you walk away for a minute and come back, it's like, oh look, it's Willow. It's like, I didn't want to watch Willow. Yeah. You just started playing Willow.
I wondered that. Yeah. Or, it could be someone went through the channels and like they stopped there for like a minute or something for some reason. And then because they were like fishing something out of the couch or something. Oh, it's a view.
It's a view.
I don't know.
My toddler chewed on the remote. It's a view. Yeah, so it looks like they're kind of fudging the numbers here because they want it to look as good as possible. They don't want to admit that maybe people aren't into this new incarnation.
But even then, it still goes down considerably from the Star Beast. So
I think it's gonna go down a lot further than this.
I agree.
Once David Tennant's gone, I think it's like, and unless Ncuti Gatwa is like the best thing that's ever happened to Doctor Who. which I don't see happening. But so that's kind of interesting that we're seeing the numbers get massaged, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't lawful. I'm not sure Disney would appreciate being lied to.
Well, you know what? To be fair,
Disney does this.
Probably would be the one telling them to do it. Because with Wish, we saw the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it went from 3-day weekends to 5-day weekends, and then there was that extra 4-day preview, and we never heard what happened with that.
This guy here saying those consolidated figures were always a crock of poop. I mean, how many days did the BBC wait until they get the figures that look good on the outside? 7 days, 14 days, 28, 2 months? Yeah, just like Disney. It's meaningless. And these manipulated figures prove that somewhat. And Disney's they're not gonna do anything about it because they do the same thing. They do the same thing.
They do the same thing. They said Disney might have a clause that has to pull over $7 million in consolidated, and that's why they waited, which is also possible. That also makes sense. But Disney does the same kind of crap. So
yeah, well, they can't be like, I mean, Disney's already in enough trouble with investors that they're like, yeah, we dumped a bunch of money into co-producing or co-financing Doctor Who, and it's just not doing well. They'll be like, oh, it's another Disney failure. There you go, guys.
Well, how many times has Disney put out a press release after they had a show or a movie, and they're like, it was the #1 for 20 minutes on a Wednesday and the best produced Wednesday show ever for a November that ends in an odd number at, 3 p.m.
The Marvels is the biggest movie
They said that.
Among 50 to 52-year-old lonely cat ladies on a Tuesday afternoon. Come see the movie that's making them all purr.
So the answer is yes, Disney does do this as well.
Yeah, pretty much. So we got that going on. Now, what's really interesting is we did a video yesterday talking about how the media is attacking them.
I'm sorry, that title.
Oh, hand off. Doctor Who blew its hand off.
It blew its big hand off.
Hand off, not hand job.
I'm sorry.
Hand off.
And it's a satisfying trilogy.
Satisfying trilogy. So satisfying till the end where it just
blew it off.
Blew it off. So
it's been really satisfying.
This is the second or third article I've come across in the last 24 hours. Where the media is actually turning on Doctor Who and they're calling it racist. They're calling it racist because we get the white doctor and the black doctor at the same time. So basically, a Peter Parker, Miles Morales dilemma.
Which is what they called it.
That's what they called it. Yeah. So yeah, they said he's basically the 15th Doctor with an asterisk. They said. He was the first black man to assume the role in Doctor Who's 60-year history. That'd be Ncuti Gatwa. I think it's Ncuti Gatwa. It's different from the rest. It makes the whole affair feel like an alarming step backwards right before what many still hope might be a great leap forward for the long-running series. So, again, they're talking about the same thing. They're like, it's not a temporary thing. He splits from the, he's not the 10th Doctor. He's actually the 14th. But it's very clear that 14 will remain alive and well, albeit settling down. And this is where it's weird. They said the whole thing smacks of cowardice. And making the wildly inconsistent decision to make the first black doctor again, Did they watch this? Did they watch Doctor Who? He's not the first black doctor. Anyway, to make the first black doctor a weird anomaly that keeps the previous white one in play, Gatwa's 15 is now categorically not the doctor, undercut by the fact that the other guy is still out there. Even if he never shows up. And that's true. We said that yesterday, but it's interesting that we're having a lot more people come out now. So the audience that would normally support this might be like, oh yeah, he's like Miles Morales. He's a doctor, but he's not the doctor. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see this blow up catastrophically in their faces. Cause I think it's going to, I think they're going to try so hard to appeal to the quote unquote woke crowd that they're actually going to wind up pissing them off.
Well, it's funny to me because now the TARDIS has a wheelchair ramp, which is very convenient.
Yeah,
Even
right.
though the girl's rocket launcher's on a wheelchair, so why does she need a ramp? But
No, he built it for poor Davros because he felt bad. He's like, Davros, I'm going to cheer you up.
Well, someone must have chewed his ass out about wheelchairs because all of a sudden they're like, really going over the top on this whole wheelchair accessibility.
They have a whole 30-second, 60-second spiel with the wheelchair girl in unit, right? Which it's pretty cool. She's got a rocket launcher in a wheelchair. If I had a wheelchair, I'd want a rocket launcher too.
It's a rocket, like it's rocket. It's not a rocket launcher.
Yeah, well, I'd get a big. Okay, I would get a big ass.
You would put a rocket launcher and boosters.
Well, no, it is a rocket launcher.
Is it? I thought it was just boosters.
No, she's freaking shooting missiles at people.
Okay, well, I mean, gosh, that's what I would do too.
I would do that too. I put a death ray on mine, like Davros. But anyway,
I have a death stare. Does that count?
No. No.
Use it on assholes and my children. Not that they're related.
But you like to stare at assholes. She's got a twitch.
My children are assholes. You know what I mean. The mom glare.
All right. So yeah, like they made a whole, it was really out of place. It was like, oh, look, you're finally entering the 21st century with your wheelchair accessible TARDIS. It's about damn time. I'm like,
I'm surprised no one's offended by the name TARDIS to begin with, but you know.
Oh, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. They actually have a shirt out there that says retardus and the TARDIS is sideways.
Really?
Yes.
That's not okay.
That's not okay. But yeah, I'm
I hate people using that word as a derogatory term anyway. But I'm surprised no one's complaining about it.
Oh my God. So here we go. So yeah, they're talking about the Christmas special which is very odd to be on Disney Plus, right? They've got goblins singing about eating babies.
Oh, Pinky Boo hadn't seen that yet.
Oh God, it's so bad.
And she actually thought the whole Spice Girls segment, and the giggle was funny. But then she saw that and she watched it for like just a few seconds of the song and she's like, nope. And she turned it off, and she's like, the costume looks like they're trying to be Melanie Martinez, but she did it better. She's like, the singer isn't terrible, but she's like, it's not Labyrinth, she's not David Bowie, and she didn't know anything about it. She didn't know about the song or your comments at all. Her next thing was, Bowie did it better, and the CGI is terrible.
Yeah.
She was just like, she's like the Gen Z target audience, and she's like, this is stupid, and turned it off within she just watched a little bit of it, and she used to be an old school fan. She used to watch the old ones with you when she was a baby.
She did.
When she was little, she used to watch Doctor Who.
Tom Baker, Doctor Who.
And then they grew up. She said that Matt Smith's her favorite.
Yes, Matt Smith is her favorite.
We watched every time there's a new episode, we were on the couch together as a family watching it. Loved it. And so she is a Doctor Who fan from way back, and she thought it was the stupidest thing ever and turned it off.
Yep. So there we go, guys.
Target demo.
Your Gen Z audience is tuning out, but yeah. So they talk about Ncuti Gatwa, and they said it makes the first Black Doctor seem like a carve out that allows regressive holdouts to stick to their white Doctor. And so basically, they're like, well, guys, we didn't replace the white Doctor. We gave you a Black Doctor in addition to the white Doctor.
Caring about that though, wasn't they already did the Black Doctor thing before?
Well, that's what I'm trying to People
didn't. I mean, there might have been some groups that were mad about it, but that wasn't the biggest complaint I was hearing.
So in the comments, they're actually calling him out too. They said that this is a stretch to be like it's racist, and it's like, what the hell's wrong with you? This is a racist thing.
Well, this is just after the other guy did the same damn thing yesterday. Are they friends? Are they is it the same author, or is it like
no? It's a different guy, but
one of his buddies.
A couple of things here. I'm kind of like, do you actually watch Doctor Who? Because technically he's kind of the same Doctor, but this is supposed to be Doctor 14, not Doctor 10. That's a nitpick. I've done the same thing because it's basically the same Doctor. But he's not actually the first Black Doctor. They made a whole big deal about how progressive Doctor Who was during Chibnall's era, where we had the fugitive Doctor, which was Jo Martin, and she was not only Black, but she was a woman. Mm-hmm. So you don't know your progressive Who as well as you think you do there, Polygon, but it's Polygon. So what are you gonna do? But yeah, I mean, it is an interesting complaint. I think
they're going the opposite direction they thought. They pandered so hard that it's come full circle.
Yes, horseshoe theory. It's gonna kick them in the ass it's gonna be like a boomerang, right?
It's gonna blow their hand off.
It's gonna blow their hand off. But there we go, guys. Massaged numbers and
blowing hands off.
Blowing its big thing. Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.